Hello friends and enemies. Did I used to intro like that, or was that a fever dream? Today I'm back again for some tier ranking. So I originally did this video like a year ago, and in it I did like 10 different tier rankings from different authors, different covers, etc. Then I did a second video where I only ranked 3 different things, which gave me the opportunity to be a little more thorough with like what I was doing, what I was talking about. So that was ranking like my top 10 most viewed videos, the Literally Did book club picks, and all of my least favorite books of all time, which I think I ranked by different Starbucks drinks. So what I'm also going to do today is do 3 different tier rankings. The first one, I'm going to do a follow-up to the Literally Dead book club picks because we have 10 more to add to the chart. Then I'm going to rank all of my secret TBRs and challenge videos I've ever done and like how successful they were based on the ratings that I gave the books that I had to read in the videos. And then we're going to end with the longest one, which I've been asked to do so many times, which is ranking every thriller mystery book I've ever read. And taking the drink aspect to that, I'm going to rank them all based on alcoholic beverages. I'll explain more once we get there, but there's like 100 to get through. So let's start off easy. Pop me in the corner. I need to figure out how to like cut myself out into a square or into a circle, maybe a triangle. Kayla, I know you're doing this in editing. Am I a diamond? I know you probably hate me for making you do that, but I'm proud of you for figuring it out. So here's where we're starting. And if you're looking at this and you're thinking, this doesn't match your ratings of these books, you're right. I don't think it's particularly interesting to just do a tier ranking that represents my ratings of the books, because you could just look at my Goodreads or my videos and get my ratings. This is also going to apply when we get into the thriller stuff. It's not about what I thought of them, it's about how I would categorize them. So this whole chart is about how I feel they went as a book club selection. 2020, you know, was the first year of the book club. It started off with a lot of meh picks because like these had very mixed reviews. Some of them didn't lead to the best discussion. Some of them weren't conducive to be a book club pick, but like you don't know that until you're reading it. I don't know anything. So my iconic picks were ones that like people really enjoyed and it was like fun to talk about. Solid, and then meh, and then woof. I don't know why I labeled it woof, but this is where we're at. So should I put these in order? Oh, now I'm gonna have to remember what order we read them in. I don't think it even matters, but it matters to me for some reason. Let's see if my memory, is it trash? This feels right. It really doesn't matter. Okay, when no one is watching, I want to call it iconic, but I know so many people didn't enjoy it, but the majority did, and we had some good talks about it. So I feel like I have to put it in solid. House of Leaves is an iffy one because the people who loved it like me. 5 stars, an all-time favorite. But so many people DNF'd it or just like didn't pick it up because it was too intimidating or they weren't interested. So for me, it's iconic. I don't know, I want to call it iconic because like the people who read this and put in the time and got through this in a month, like I think you're iconic. I'm putting it in iconic, fight me. I don't care. Every value break, ooh. I have to put that in meh because while I despised it, there was a good amount of people that were like, no, it was good for me. Woof is the category that we all collectively decide like wasn't the right choice. The Lost Ones, this is tough because I feel like it's the pick that the least amount of people picked up, which is disappointing. It also was the least, I think, like broadly available, which I recognize. That was a pretty mixed bag. I'm gonna have to put it in meh, but I want to put it in solid, but I'm okay with it here. Oh, the meh categories. We need to stop. They Never Learn, even though I give it 4 stars, I'm putting that in iconic. I think this, I've said it before again and again, I think that this is like the thriller mystery that I can most easily recommend to like anybody. I think it has a really good broad appeal, and even the people who didn't love it, like nobody despised it from what I remember. Then we've got Survive the Night, which if there's a woof on this list, that's the one. I know there were people who enjoyed it, and I'm really glad there was somebody on the live show Bree, who enjoyed it and like defended it, and the people who loved it could really like have somebody in their corner. But the same is true for Zone 1 and Platform 7. Like there were people who loved it, but overall not Riley Sager's best. For Your Own Good, actually let me take a moment to just like say thank you to all the people who were co-hosts this year in general. Like I have put a little Instagram post up. I love everybody. I'm so happy everybody made the time, because I know how much effort, time, and like commitment it takes to participate in someone else's book club, so I really appreciate everybody for doing that. For Your Own Good, I'm gonna call that solid. I am really happy that I got a lot of you to read Samantha Downing and enjoy a Samantha Downing, because her last 2 books got a lot of mixed reviews, and I feel like this one, if I looked at the ratings, probably has the highest average rating. I mean, I already have it open because I was downloading the pictures. I might as well check. Ah, those 2 are tied. Wouldn't have guessed. Back to the program. All's Well, I'm gonna call solid. No, well, I can't call it meh. I gave it 3 stars, but people were really like loving it and praising it in the comments of that live show, so I support that completely. My Heart is a Chainsaw, I obviously want to put in iconic. It's a favorite of the year. It goes right along with The Only Good Indians. For me, that one was better than The Only Good Indians, but I think based on what I see from book club members, this one was preferred. The Only Good Indians, I mean. For some reason when I do screen recordings, I don't think you can see my mouse. Anyway, The Death of Jane Lawrence. Okay, before the live show, I would have called this a meh pick, because I thought we were all going to collectively decide it was like a 3.5. Like it was just okay, but it didn't do everything we hoped. But the live show, I think people still enjoyed reading it, and it wasn't something that people were mad about. Like Survive the Night, people were mad about and ranting about. But The Death of Jane Lawrence, the comment section was very much like 2 stars, and like it was so not what I was expecting, but not in a way that you hated it. I still have to, I think, put it there, which is so weird. Especially weird because it's the one you picked. We did a series of polls this year to pick the last read of the year, and this was your pick out of the 16. I would put it up here, but I think objectively it has to be down here, which is sad. Okay, next up we're doing secret TBRs and challenge videos. So over the last, whatever, 5 years, I have done approximately 30 secret TBRs where I pick a selection of books in a strange way. Some of them are from my actual existing TBR. Some of them are books I've never heard of. I pick them just in strange ways. And then I make a vlog and I share my experience. So for this one, I wanted to make my own tier rank board because I'm going to want to be able to zoom in and see, oh, the sun's going down, perfect. See what the books are, what the title is. There are a certain selection of videos I didn't choose. So ones where like I already had a bunch of books and I was just finding a secret TBR to fit with those. So like books about butterflies, books about mermaids. And there's a couple other ones. This is specifically like, I had a concept. I read the books in this video for the most part. And yeah. So my tiers are life-changing. So that's going to be the best of the best. Ones where I found the best books. What a Time to Be Alive. You can just pretend I sound like Doja Cat. Oh, what a time to be alive. You know that one? This one also a song.
Weather outside is frightful, but that fire is delightful.
So those are just middle of the road, like not the best, but I found some interesting things. And then we just have Questioning My Existence. And finally, I will never financially recover from this. Let's begin. First, we've got zodiac signs. My zodiac sign decides what I read. So in this, I'm not going to go through every single book I read, but like the general idea of what I read, was it good or no? I found some of my least favorite books of all time through this video, but I also did give out a couple 5 stars. So we might have to put it into Questioning My Existence. Yeah, because it was about me and my zodiac sign too, so like what a mess. Okay, next we've got Reading Your Recommendations. Actually, let's go to the one under it, which is the first time I read your recommendations. And again, I found some real flops. So I don't fully trust you after that one. I think we'll also have to put this here because it did make me question, like, do I like books? Why, if all of these books are things that I'm supposed to love, why did I hate these books, basically? Okay, then we'll go back to reading your recommendations again. So there was you had a second chance. And in this one, I found a 5-star, a 4-star, a 3, and a 2, and I think another 2. So this one I'm gonna pop here. I guess actually maybe I have to put it higher because like I found a 5-star favorite and I don't actually think that's gonna pop up a lot. I'm not totally sure. Next we have Reading Like a Visco Girl. So there were some mediocre ones in here, but I also found Eating Animals, but Eating Animals is the one that was already on my TBR. I think I'm gonna have to put that in. Delightful. Then we've got Trash My TBR, which was a video that I did in like 2 parts, where the first part I went through my TBR closet and I showed you all the things I was thinking of getting rid of, and then you convinced me of 3 to keep, and none of them were 5 stars. So even though the Chalkman's in there, I think I have to put it in Questioning My Existence, because it made me question the books that I pick up, because why were they there? Next up, we have the first Goodreads video. So this one is reading the 10 best thrillers of 2019, and there are some good things in there. The Turn of the Key and Lock Every Door, but I had already read those before the video began. From that video though, I did end up reading My Sister the Serial Killer and Miracle Creek, which I really liked, but then also The Whisper Man and Silent Patient, which I hated. And nothing ever bumped the books for like the top position that I hadn't already read. So as a video, I think it has to go here, because like I enjoyed the process, but it wasn't a big success. For the second time I read the thrillers, that's the screenshot I grabbed. Good for me. I was just trying to find a place in each video where I was holding all of the books. This took a long time, just so you know. In this one, I actually found The Wife Between Us, which was my favorite thriller of the year to end up in this Goodreads Choice Awards. I also read some flops, so I think I have to put that a little higher in What a Time to Be Alive. Next up, I think this is the first one I ever did, buying 5 books that look like my favorite books. I had done a couple experimental videos before that, but I didn't actually read the books in the videos, like it was a 2-part kind of thing. This one was actually I bought the books, chose the books, and read them all in the video. I don't think anybody had ever really done anything like that on BookTube before. I DNF'd 2 stars, 2 stars, 4 stars, 4 stars, maybe 5 stars. If it was just based on the concept and how I felt about the video, like I would put it in here, but I think objectively I have to put it, I'm gonna put it right in the middle. I feel like these categories and how I'm organized them are already such a mess, but I have 30 to get through, so I can't spend too much time on each one really thinking about it. This is the one where there wasn't a specific screen grab with all of the books in it, but this was the first of reading books that I thought I would hate, and this one was Road Trips. I ended up with a high rating and then quite a few low ratings, so that's definitely going into Questioning My Existence, because the whole concept was like reading books I think I'll hate, and then I hated the books, so what am I doing with my life? The first time I paid a professional to pick my books, fun video, it was a good time, but I didn't love the selections, so I think I have to put it into Questioning My Existence, even though the concept is fun and like it was, you know, it was a good time. And then we can go back to the second time I did it, which I ended up with 4.5 and 5-star reads and some of my absolute favorites of the year. So this one's going to be life-changing because it just really went so well for me that I was happy. Okay, then we've got reading the lowest rated books on my TBR, and there's 2 of these, so reading the highest rated and reading the lowest rated. And I was like, I have such unpopular opinions. Obviously all the low rated ones I'm gonna love and the high rated ones I'm gonna hate. And I did dislike a good amount of the high rated ones, but I also disliked a lot of the low rated ones. Again, some of my least favorite reads of that year, but there was a 5-star in there. But yeah, I have to put this in the very bottom. I mean, now I'm rethinking, should this one be in the very bottom? I'm just getting distracted thinking about what's to come and what might be in this category and what might be worse. But you're right, if you've been yelling at me thinking that this is in the wrong spot, you're right. If I hated more than one book in that video, like, it doesn't deserve to be any higher. Then for the highest rated, again, there's quite a few 2 stars in here, but then a couple 4 stars. So unfortunately, I think that one also has to end up down here. I don't know if this is right. You can fight me on this. Reading my mom's favorite childhood books. Listen, I found so many winners from this. And yeah, a couple that didn't go great, but like this was a winner, I think. Next up, reading books based on my name. Did I like any of these books? No. Did I hate them so much that I never want to talk about them again? No. Reading books based on my name as a concept definitely made me question my existence to begin with, so that's there. Instagram chooses my books without knowing. So this was all stuff already on my TBR, so nothing completely outside the box. So the fact that I enjoyed quite a few, like that's equally on me and you. And I did rate a 5-star in there. At this point it's going here, but I feel like I might adjust these later based on like what's coming. Now we've got the horror books. So I ended up absolutely obsessed with The Year of the Witching and The Hollow Places from this video, but there were too many flops to ignore. I think we can safely put that. Let me look at these, because on all of these I gave 1 5-star out. In this one I had 2, almost 3 5-star reads. So for now it's going to be in Life Changing, because I genuinely wouldn't have picked those up like at all probably, except for the video. Then we had a weekend reading vlog where I filmed myself buying books drunk and high, and then I did a follow-up vlog reading my high selections, and they were all 5 stars. And I still have to do the drunk selection sometime next year. Don't worry, I will. It's on my list. It's been 7 months apparently. This one without a doubt has to be Life Changing. Then we've got reading books I'll probably hate with a beautiful screen grab. I did indeed not like them, but I didn't hate any. I don't think there's any like 1, 2 stars there. So we have now really filled up this questioning my existence category, and we have to shrink it all. Clearly that's the most popular. Let's see if it continues. My Enneagram chooses what I read. Okay, so in this one I read 1, 2, 3 books that completely weren't on my radar, and I gave 4 or 5 stars. And then a couple flops, but not ones that I'm mad about. So I think we'll put that in What a Time to Be. I shouldn't sing. Next up. Sorry if the zooming in is annoying. I don't know. Now that I'm doing it, I'm like, was this what I should be doing? Reading books from canceled videos. This was the first time I did this video, and I read Catherine House and Slay, which were great, and then a couple that were good, and then I DNF'd 1. So I think this is another What a Time to Be Alive. Hey, it's going well. This is justifying my weird experiments, thank goodness. Okay, and then I did another canceled videos video, and I think it went not as good. I read a bunch of 3 stars. Again, I don't have a photo of everything I read. Oh, I also read The Maidens, which I liked, Ace of Spades, which I liked, and Anna's Secret, which was terrible. Oh gosh, where does this one go? Since there weren't any 5 stars, I think I have to put it in just a middle ground. Next up, this is another one of the first ones I did. I didn't actually read the books during this vlog, but this is where I picked my TBR based on another booktuber's TBR. I ended up reading Monica's TBR, and Girl Made of Stars was a 5-star. Feminist Fight Club. I didn't read all of these picks. These ones I didn't really like. Dread Nation I liked. I think this is another What a Time to Be Alive, and we have filled this one as well. Okay, reading booktuber recommendations. Another great screen grab for me. This video I read so many picks because it was based on videos that booktubers did that was like, if you liked this, read this. And things just kept popping up that I wanted to read. There was a couple DNFs in here. A couple 5 stars, mostly 3 and 4 stars, and nothing that was like an absolute favorite book of all time. So I'm gonna pop that one right in the middle. Next up, I read not their recommendations, but booktuber favorites. So again, let's go to the original. The first time I did it was their favorites of 2019. I read quite a few 2 stars, but then 2 5 stars, and the 1 is one of my favorites. I think if we took an average though, it's gotta be in the middle as well. Oh my gosh, do you think we'll fill up? Do you think we'll have to shrink every single one? Okay, then we can go back to this one, which was reading their favorites this year. This one It's also a mix, but like The Death of Ivagoji, 21 Things, How Since Cerulean Sea, Midnight Library, like all 5 stars. It was such a success this year at the beginning of the year. And then just like a good couple 3 stars, but I have to put this in life-changing just because I read multiple 5 stars, and that's the rule that we've decided. Next up, reading books from recommendation services, also known as the blind date with a book video. So in this one, I read mostly flops. The Midnight Bargain was good, but wasn't 5 stars. So I did give out more than 1 2-star here. So I think this has to go in, I will never financially recover from this, which also fits because I spent a lot of money on those books, in most cases without knowing what they were. So, okay, reading books from my Airbnb. I only read 2 books in that video, but I gave them both 3 stars. And the Airbnb was expensive. Now, Questioning My Existence feels like a good one because the books themselves were just strange and interesting and not things I would have read on my own. They weren't great, so that's where we're at. Oh, reading all the weird books my friend messages me. That is one of my most recent secret TBRs. And 1, 2, 3 1 and 2 stars, and the rest were 3 stars. So unfortunately, this one is an I will never financially recover, which is true because most of those I bought brand new, full price. And then we have the 5-star predictions vlog, which if we just looked at the books I picked for myself, which is in the top row, they're all 2 and 3 stars. So that's disappointing. But if we factor in your picks, and this is a whole series actually, I'm just realizing that I should include my closet unhaul in this if I'm including this series. So I'll do that really quickly after this. But you picked for me a few 4 stars. Nothing I absolutely loved though, so I think we have to put it again in the middle. And you know what? It does feel right to have my life-changing section and my I will never financially recover from this section being the ones with the least amount of videos, because that's the same with my reading. The least amount of books get 5 stars and 1 star. Most videos like sit in the middle as far as success goes. But let me tally up my closet unhaul really quickly for you. Okay, I'm back. And the sun's back. I don't know how long we'll see her, but okay. I looked at the closet unhaul. I have my little image ready. I don't have a picture of everything that I read for it. But here's the thing about the closet unhaul is it's the one I'm going to struggle the most to categorize. I read 31 books, which is funny because this is the 31st video that I'm putting in this graphic. 31 books. If you don't know, the closet unhaul is like a monthly series I did for a year where I've read everything that I had hauled 2 years prior. I read 31 books total by the end of it, and only 2 5 stars showed up. Blood Red Road and The Secret History, which are 2 of my favorite books. However, the amount of 3 stars and 2 stars that came out of that, for my channel, like I want to say life-changing. Like I want to put it here. Looking at the videos that I've put in What a Time to Be Alive, it feels more right to be in there. But I did also put some videos where I read lowly rated things into life-changing. The video, life-changing, the series, life-changing, so we're just gonna call it life-changing, because if I don't, you might yell at me. We have a good equal amount in each tier, which wasn't my goal, but it happened and it makes me happy. And I think this is a nice balance. Like, it's making me feel good about my content, the things that I read. Obviously, I hope everything in the future is in life-changing, but this is fine with me. Okay, moving on to the last one we're gonna do today. And I do need to do this rather quickly just because this video is getting long. So I'm gonna put the least thought into this that I've ever put into anything. So I'm just gonna give my gut reaction to what thrillers fit into what alcoholic beverage category. These are drinks that I've had in my past, and I feel like they each elicit a different feeling or therefore a different person or something. So starting at the top with margarita. Now each of these drinks could represent like 3 different things. So this could mean like the this thriller mystery book is for somebody who would drink a margarita, or this book is something that is memorable. Like, I feel like a night when you're drinking margaritas, maybe memorable is not the right word. Tequila is something that just, maybe you don't remember your night, but you know that you're gonna have fun. You're out to have a good time. It's wild. That's what the margarita category is for. Or it could mean something that like you just keep drinking. Like when you have a margarita, you're having 10 margaritas. You can't stop. You can't put the book down. It's just, it's all moving. Are we on the same page? Next up is wine. Wine, if you have a wine night with your girlfriends, it's the type of night you don't really remember because there's so many of them. Wine itself isn't really memorable. I feel like the night that you and your friends went out and had margaritas, you have stories to tell. Or maybe this category is, you know, the thriller mysteries that I would recommend to suburban moms. Next up, we've got an old fashioned, which is my drink. Now, an old fashioned is something that's polarizing, and it's also something that can go wrong really easily and can be made a lot of different ways. I've had a really good old fashioned, I've had a really bad old fashioned. It's also something typically like older men drink, and also my most pretentious drink of the list. So just keep all of that in mind. The experience of drinking an old fashioned is like chill, complex, interesting, but not for everyone. Okay. I didn't think of these beforehand, by the way. I just like picked some drinks and I threw all the books in here and we'll see what happens. Then we've got rum and coke. This is something that I do not enjoy, but I feel like it's an entry level beverage, but you can enjoy it anytime at any age. So maybe these are the mystery thrillers that I feel like beginners could enjoy, but also just like have kind of a mass appeal that I don't really need to explain too much. I'm just gonna throw it in there. I'm also not gonna talk about any of the synopses here. I'm just gonna rank them and we're gonna be done. Then I wanted to put a Bloody Mary in here. I know this is also a polarizing one, but it's the second most disgusting drink I've ever had in my life. No, the third most disgusting drink. There's something I had before with like vodka and milk that made me want to die. I didn't put it on here because I don't know what it is, but I did put my two least favorite drinks on here. So a Bloody Mary is something that's spicy, but I don't think I have too many like spicy books on this list. It's something that I actually just don't understand that other people like. So I think that whole category will probably be all of my 1 and 2 star thrillers, unless I think that they're good for a beginner or I think they're pretentious. Even though old fashioned is my favorite drink and margaritas aren't something that I like, just so you know, these aren't ranked like 5 stars to 1 star. There just happens to be a mix of enjoyable and not enjoyable beverages on here. Am I making sense? Probably not. Lastly, we have the Jaeger Bomb. A Jaeger Bomb is the first and only time in my life I've had an energy drink. It's like a drop shot, which I hate. Like typically Red Bull, Jägermeister. This was like the thing to drink in high school. I don't know if it's still the thing to drink in high school. I never understood it. It makes me sick just thinking about it. A night on Jaeger bombs is a night where someone's gonna get into a fight. So maybe it'll be like the most polarizing picks I could put in here too. None of this makes any sense. Are we on board? Okay, let's begin with an unwanted guest. I'm stuck between wanting to make this like a wine book, but it's also a good beginner book. So I'm gonna put it here because I feel like this is a book for moms and moms can enjoy, moms can enjoy anything on here. Actually, this is a very mom list. I have quite a few mom friends who love a Jaeger Bomb. I digress. It's just like, pick one of these right now, pick one of these categories that's gonna be the category you stand behind, and then tell me what you think of any of the books that you've read in the category that I have given. The Lies We Told. Oh, actually, you know what I'm going to use Jaeger Bomb for is forgettable, the most forgettable things, because once you had a couple Jaeger Bombs, you gotten in a fight, you had a fight with your significant other or your friend, you blacked out, and the next day you remember nothing. So the most forgettable mysteries, I'm going to pop here. The Lies We Told goes there. Cross Her Heart is something that I don't understand why people like. I'll probably argue with you at the table. If you order a Bloody Mary, I'm questioning you. And if you like that book, I'm questioning your taste. I'm kidding. The Last Time I Lied is a wine. Basic, simple, easy to consume, not super memorable, but like it's good. When the Lights Go Out, I don't remember. I feel like a lot of Mary Kupika is going to end up with Jaeger Bombs, which I feel bad about. I know you know, I'm not just putting it here because I love it, but this is like a polarizing pick. I love it and people question my love for it, but like it's a chill, interesting read. Bring Me Back is an I don't understand. All the Beautiful Strangers is a good beginner one because if it's not YA, it like feels like YA, so I feel like it's a safe read. The Death of Mrs. Westaway is it a margarita? It feels like wine. Just because the book itself is a little like slow and intricate, and margarita definitely, I just want to put something in margarita, but I'll ignore that impulse. Her Pretty Face is very much a wine. I told you I'm not explaining these. The Outsider I didn't like, and it gets weird. So I'm resisting putting it in old fashioned because I didn't like it, but I have to remember these categories aren't about what I liked and didn't like. I think The Outsider is a polarizing one, and it either gets really good for you or gets really bad. Let Me Lie is, I feel like Claire McIntosh in general is a pretty like easy to recommend beginner type mystery writer. The Chalk Man is a margarita. CJ Tudor in general writes like high action, fast paced things that like keep you on the edge of your seat. Lisa Jewell, I don't understand, but I do think it's a good beginner entry level. Not that you have to be entry level to enjoy it. This has like mass appeal, or it's entry level. Rum and Coke. I feel like a lot's gonna end up in Rum and Coke. The French Girl, I don't remember super well. I remember enjoying, but it's not really memorable. Sometimes I Lie, I'm gonna put it in wine. Not the most memorable, but like you're having a good time while you're reading it, I think. Force of Nature is a margarita, high action, fast paced. The Wife Between Us is definitely a polarizing one, especially when it comes to like the twist. Also, can we all agree that an old fashioned is superior with the orange than a cherry? If you disagree, I don't know what to tell you. Lies She Told, it's like, these are forgettable as in I can't tell you the plot of them. I can't tell you the twist. Stranger in the House, like I gave 4 stars, but I blacked out. I woke up the next day and did not remember it. Same with I See You. Emma in the Night, I feel like in general Wendy Walker is a hit or a miss for most people. I'm also going to put The Good Daughter in the old-fashioned category. Into the Water by Paula Hawkins, it has things about it I like. So like A Bloody Mary has celery. Like I enjoy celery. I enjoy spices. I enjoy flavor. But the tomato of it all really ruined it. The Lying Game is wine. Final Girls, I think, is a margarita. It's, I remember it being like interesting and fun and something I couldn't put down. Every Last Lie, I'm so sorry, Mary Kubica. 6 Stories is another polarizing one. Like a lot of the ones that I love but other people don't seem to, I'm gonna end up popping in here. The Breakdown. Do I remember The Breakdown? Not really. It has to do with a car. The Perfect Stranger I enjoyed, but it's not the most memorable, so I'm gonna put it in wine. I feel like Megan Miranda is a good mass appeal mystery thriller author, even though I rarely give her 5 stars. The Lost Ones is definitely a margarita. It is fast paced, it's all over the place. It gets weird and wild. Also, If We Are Villains, I'm gonna put into margarita. Her Every Fear, I don't really remember. This tier ranking is not going how I wanted it to, because now I'm basically just telling on myself of all of the forgettable things that I've read and how I don't retain that much information from average thrillers. The River at Night is definitely a margarita, fast-paced, a lot going on. Behind Her Eyes, like for the plot twist, I want to put in margarita, but I think the book itself is a little too slow to really fit for what I... Actually, I should put this in old fashioned because by the end you either love it or hate it. And once you have an old fashioned for the first time, it's like you're never gonna order it again. You're never gonna read Sarah Pinborough again, or you're intrigued, but you just need to find the right old fashioned for you and the right Sarah Pinborough for you. The Couple Next Door, I'm gonna put with the other Sherry Lapina and Rum and Coke because I feel like easy to get into. Same with The Darkest Secret, which I don't talk about enough, but I quite enjoy. The Woman in Cabin 10, I don't get. If you love it, I don't understand you. I want to understand you, but I don't. The Dry is also part of this series, Jane Harper, but this one wasn't as like fun, but it is more entry level because you're starting a series. Don't You Cry by Mary Kubica. Mary Kubica, I'm so sorry, don't watch this. This isn't a diss. So many of the books in this category are 3 stars. All Is Not Forgotten, I gave 2 stars. So I guess if you love it, I don't really get it. I Let You Go, another easy entry level. What She Knew by Jillian McMillan, I feel the same. He Will Be My Ruin by K.A. Tucker. This wasn't supposed to be about my opinion, which is the thing, because I gave this 4 stars, but like I want to call it spicy because it's the least like mystery thriller of all of these. I'm gonna put it in wine. Pretty Girls. Karen Slaughter, just in general, is a margarita. The Girl on the Train, I don't want to put in I don't understand, so I'm gonna put it in like kind of forgettable but easy to consume. Still Mine is, I'm starting to feel like wine and rum and coke are getting a little muddled. Alcohol joke. In a Dark Dark Wood is a mom book. Where They Found Her is a mom book. The Kind Worth Killing is a pretty easy one to get into. It's one of the first like thrillers I ever really read. Same with Gone Girl, I think, and Sharp Objects. And of course I don't have Dark Places with it because I failed. Before We Met is a wine one. Night Film, I don't really understand the desperate love for Night Film. I'm so sorry. Hey, Dark Places, that's another rum and coke. Such a Quiet Place, Megan Miranda, I do think has more mass appeal than her other ones. In My Dreams Will Hold a Knife is a margarita. Rock, Paper, Scissors is a little slow, but I do think it's a margarita. Survive the Night is just like a fine time. It's something where just like it's happening. I don't feel like you're drinking a Bloody Mary and you're like savoring it and like really enjoying it and you're like, oh, I'm gonna have 10 of these. I feel like it's just something that you drink on an average afternoon and then you're never really gonna think about it again. Tell me if I'm wrong, all of you Bloody Mary lovers. Local Woman Missing is definitely a margarita. Some portions are more fast-paced than others, but The Butterfly House, not super memorable. Every Vow You Break, I'm actually gonna call like a polarizing one. I didn't love it, but there are people who really stan every Peter Swanson, so much so that you could call it a little pretentious. Not the book itself, but the perspective of the book. Also, men like it, so. Another Megan Miranda, The Girl from Widow Hills. For Your Own Good is a margarita. It's a good time. 8 Perfect Murders. Peter Swanson feels right to put into an old-fashioned. The way that I talk about Peter Swanson is the same way that I talk about an old-fashioned. I'm like, you just need to find the right one. Like, there are so many things to appreciate. When sometimes I should just shut up and let people like what they like. The Guest List is a margarita. He Started It is also a margarita. The Night Swim is also a margarita. Things are just happening and moving and shaking, and I'm also gonna put They Never Learn there, and now I need to shrink this entire, did I get them all? No, I didn't. Damn it, Kayla, you had one job. Actually, you have many jobs, and you're doing your best. I guess this is just my stack of like, if you want to have a good time reading a mystery thriller, these are some of my top recs. But also The Night Swim and They Never Learn really fit well into like mass appeal, easy to get into thrillers. Let's also shrink the wine category. One by One, this seems like a polarizing one. Like, you either love it or hate it, and the people who love it, like myself, who gave it high ratings, like I just want to tell people all the things that there are to love about it. But it's also like, you could call this category, maybe it's about you're reading journey and history. Maybe you're not at a point where you can appreciate certain things. Like for me, maybe if I read The Outsider or if Value Break at a different time, I could have enjoyed them. Not everyone's ready for an old-fashioned. Home Before Dark is a margarita as well, but now I have to shrink these so small that it's gonna bother me. Goodnight Beautiful. Actually, I'm gonna put it in beginner. I think especially beginner, like not so much mass appeal, but more if you haven't read a ton of thrillers and mysteries, I think the twists involved can really just knock your socks off and really impress you. But if you're deep into the genre, I don't know that it'll do a lot for you. When no one is watching, which of these drinks is underrated? Maybe it's a Bloody Mary, even though I gave it 5 stars. Oh, I have to call it an old fashioned. I just didn't want to put all of my highest rated books in here because it seems wrong. I do think it's a really interesting, layered, complex situation that isn't as appreciated as it should be. Don't Look for Me by Wendy Walker. I know that I gave it 4 stars. Oh, no, yeah, I just remembered the twist. Let's call this a wine one. My wine drinking friends is who I would recommend that to. The Mother-in-Law. I don't get that one. Dead to Her. I don't get that one. The Maidens, I have to call a pretentious pick. I'm also going to put The Silent Patient in here. This author is another one like Peter Swanson that the people who love will like defend so much and will be like, well, you just didn't understand like how good it was if you don't like it. So plus like the setting of the book, like pretentious vibes just feel right. You Are Not Alone. And that's not me dissing anyone because look how many things I put in old fashioned and I say the same thing about. You Are Not Alone. I think I gave it 3 stars, but if that's like your favorite thriller, I don't understand you. The Other Misses is a rum and coke. I think that is the Mary Kubica that I would tell people to start with. Another Sherry Lapina that all the covers are too similar for me to differentiate what any of them are. The Family Upstairs I don't get. I feel like it's something that I read and it just happened and it's just something you drink real quick at dinner and you never think about again. Not because you blacked out while reading it, but because it's just something you've read before. The Other People by C.J. Tudor. C.J. Tudor definitely belongs in margarita again. That's the right spot. The Wives is a super polarizing one, which I had no idea when I originally read it, I don't think. But the people who hate it so desperately. The Arrangement is a polarizing one, but that feels right. The Turn of the Key isn't super fast-paced, but it's fast-paced enough that I want to put it here. No, I think enough people love it that I can just call it a good, like, well-rounded for anyone type of read. Verity, I don't get. Yeah, I gave it 3 stars, but like a couple other ones in here. The Passion is something that I can't recognize because I feel like it's been done so many times that it doesn't have an impact. Like when you drink a Bloody Mary, every time, are you like, oh my god, this is so good? Or are you just like, oh, this is just my drink. I've been here before, it's familiar. The Whisper Man. I'm trying not to get swayed by my own ratings. Whisper Man is a wine. Lock Every Door is a margarita. A lot of Riley Sager in a margarita. Searching for Sylvia Lee is like the least mysterious one on here, but it is technically a mystery book. And I think a lot of people could enjoy this. The Missing Years is underrated, but it's not polarizing. I think a rum and coke feels good. Decent appeal. Teens can partake. The Night Before. The Night Before is not one that I loved, but I don't really remember it. The Nanny. I'm thinking about the audience more so now. Like, can a 20-year-old enjoy The Nanny? I don't know. I think it's more of a wine, sipping on their Cabernet, reading The Nanny. That's what I picture. Runaway. I have to call it a margarita because it's very action-packed. The Woman in the Window. I can't deny that it has mass appeal, so we're just gonna put it there. I'll Never Tell is underrated, and I feel like especially a younger audience could enjoy that one. Miracle Creek is a margarita. Again, it's not like what I would consider a fun read, but it is like there's always something happening and you can just read it in one day. Again, The Silent Patient feels right to be in an old-fashioned. The one, I tried to stay away from sci-fi, but then some sci-fi snuck in here, but not all of my sci-fi thrillers, so this just got messy. But I'm gonna put the one in Margarita. I'm also gonna put No Exit in Margarita. An Anonymous Girl. So sorry to this writing duo. Don't You Cry is again down here. Let me just finagle all of this, and we did it. Again, I feel like all of these categories have a good amount in them that I didn't just focus on one, but you could argue that I put some things in the wrong categories. If you want to defend a book or you want to really agree with something, like leave me a comment on all of your feelings. And if there's a category that you would like to make a goal for yourself to read like everything in it, I feel like there's a reasonable amount in each category to make it a reading challenge. And that's every thriller that I've ever read ranked. If I forgot something, tell me in the comments and I will comment with the category that I should have put it in if I remembered it, because I feel like there's probably something missing that I forgot to right click save as from Goodreads to go on this list. And that is my tier ranking video. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out. If you want to see me do my least favorites of the year ranked, let me know, because I did that last year. It was a lot of fun. I love these tier ranking videos and I hope you do too. I'll see you later. Bye.